Hello and welcome to another edition of Currently in Quincy. I'm Joe Catalano. Today, the Quincy Salvation Army will be joining us to talk about their upcoming holiday programs. First, though, we like to take a look at the weather and the news for you. Currently in Quincy, it's cloudy, it's cool, 56 degrees right now. The wind has a bit of a bite to it as well. We've got some showers moving in later on this afternoon. Temperatures will stay right about where they are today in the mid-50s. It should clear out late tonight and lows dip into the mid-40s. Sunshine returns tomorrow, but it'll be a brisk one. Pretty windy tomorrow with temperatures in the mid-50s, feeling cooler with that wind chill. Down to the lower 40s tomorrow night. More gray weather moves in here on Wednesday with some afternoon and evening showers possible. Wednesday's highs in the upper 50s, and then skies clear on Thursday with highs in the low 50s, and could be some frost around here Thursday night as temperatures will dip into the lower 30s. Right now, cloudy, 56 degrees in Quincy. Checking out the news for you today, final preparations are underway for tomorrow's city election here in Quincy. City Clerk Nicole Crispo says polls will be open tomorrow, 7 a.m. to 8 p.m.
We're working with the school department, of course, and the other facilities that we need that facilitate the polling locations on Election Day, November 4th. All the polls will be open at 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. We'll be ready. Lower level of the Elks, which will be for the foreseeable future, and the post at Ward 6, Precinct 5 until Squantum Elementary School is done over.
Now, early voting concluded this past Friday. Mail-in ballots are due back at City Hall by tomorrow night at 8 p.m. There is a ballot drop box located outside City Hall, and today at noon is the deadline to cast an absentee ballot at City Hall. There have already been about 2,500 ballots cast for tomorrow's election. Now, there are races tomorrow for all of the City Council seats except in Ward 2. There are 6 candidates for the 3 councilor at-large seats and 6 candidates for 3 school committee seats. QATV will have live coverage of the election results beginning tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. Crispo, by the way, predicting a turnout of anywhere from 18 to 20%. The Massachusetts House has approved a 50-year lease extension for Quarry Hills Associates of Quincy to operate the Granite Links Golf Club in Quincy. House members last week approved the home rule petition in an informal session that would allow Quarry Hills to run the golf club through the year 2106. The current lease expires in 2056. The City Council already approved the 50-year lease extension. The measure now moves on to the State Senate for further discussion. The lease extension was reduced from the initial proposal for a 99-year lease after residents expressed concern about that length of time. Some residents say the 50-year lease is still too long and that the agreement's not financially beneficial for the city. Quarry Hill says it needs that lengthy lease to secure financing for a proposed 110-room hotel at that site. 2 new fire trucks recently went into service in Quincy. The new pumper trucks are located at the Quincy Point and Wollaston fire stations. Mayor Thomas Koch said they were a long time coming.
Trying to get fire apparatus these days is quite an effort. It takes 4 years to get a ladder truck. It's more than 2.5 years to get an engine, which just seems absurd. I remember when I was working for Jim Sheets, we would order an engine. You'd have it in 6 months, a ladder truck a year the most. And the prices were a lot cheaper then as well. You pay a lot of money these days, and it takes too long. There's been some congressional hearings on it to try to figure out, what the heck's going on in the industry, because it appears that all the big companies have been bought up by one. So that's clearly a challenge and an issue. So you really have to plan way ahead, which we've been doing. We've got hopefully another ladder truck coming in at the end of the year or first of the year, and then there's another one that's been out of order that's probably a couple of years out.
The 2025 Fouts Brothers FB94 pumpers are located at Engine 3 in Quincy Point and Engine 4 in Wollaston. Trucks cost a combined $1.5 million. Mayor says they'll replace two 15-year-old trucks that will be overhauled and then used as spares. Construction continues on a two-story, 20,000 square foot addition to the Hale Family YMCA here in Quincy. Crews from Integrated Builders are adding the new building. It will feature a state-of-the-art gymnastics center, a dedicated teen programming space, and a large-scale studio for health and wellness and adaptive programming. The expansion is part of the Y's ongoing Leave Your Mark capital campaign aimed at raising $12 million. That expansion project will cost $8 million. Ground was broken for it back in March. The Y anticipates the project will be completed in early 2026, with programming in the new space to begin in the spring. The 290th birthday anniversary for President John Adams was held last Thursday at the United First Parish Church, Church of Presidents in Quincy Center. The annual presidential wreath-laying ceremony focused on the 250th anniversary of the United States Navy this year. Adams family descendant Steve Robinson explained why Adams is considered the father of the U.S. Navy.
John Adams would be proud to see how the Navy has carried forward the ideals he helped forge: courage in the face of danger, discipline in the face of uncertainty, and service above self. He would see in every sailor's dedication the living proof that his dream of a strong, independent America has endured. As we mark this 250th anniversary, we do more than celebrate history. We reaffirm a promise that the Navy will continue to defend freedom, uphold peace, and carry forward the legacy of those who first set sail under our flag. Let us remember that Adams's belief in a Navy was not just strategic, it was philosophical. He believed that the strength of a republic rested not only in its words, but in its ability to defend those words. The Navy to Adams was the embodiment of American resolve, a reminder that liberty must be guarded and that peace is best preserved by those prepared to protect it.
Lieutenant Commander Wesley Schlesinger of the Quincy Navy Reserve Center presented the presidential wreath on behalf of the White House at the presidential crypts in the church basement. Remarks were also offered by high school students, Mayor Thomas Koch, and leaders of the church. The Navy Band Northeast Crosswinds Woodwind Quintet and the Quincy Choral Society provided musical selections. It's our check of news for you today. Coming up, Captain Adam Boynton is here from the Quincy Salvation Army for an update. That's next. Welcome back. Halloween is over. We're into November, so now it's full on about the holidays at the Quincy Salvation Army, where it is every year, really, and every time throughout the year. So Captain Adam Boynton has stopped by to tell us a bit about this year's drive for their upcoming breakfast and the holiday kettles. Great to see you, Captain. Thanks for coming over.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, now I know you'd get center stage during the holidays, but the Salvation Army is there year-round for folks, right?
Yeah, every day.
Yeah.
We're there. We don't close.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But this is probably, what did you say, the busiest time of year for you?
Certainly. Yeah, between fundraising and then the holiday service division, it keeps us pretty busy.
Absolutely. So two major things we want to talk about today,
Yeah.
right? Is number one is the kickoff breakfast for the kettle campaign, and number two is getting folks to help you ring the bell this year.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're always looking for volunteers to help ring the bell, help raise money.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's talk about the breakfast first of all, if we can.
So we have our annual Kettle Kickoff Breakfast. It's on November 14th. It's a nice, bright, early in the morning, but we have it at the Terrell Room, and there's a nice hot breakfast and some coffee waiting. One of the things that we get to do is to celebrate the work that the Salvation Army has been able to do, what we've been able to see through people's lives, through our social services programming, through our food pantry, through our youth services as well, to tell the story. So last year we heard from one of our clients who was a senior citizen who had lost their job and him and his wife, through health complications and all these things, were living in their car. But through the help from the social workers at the Salvation Army, we're able to get into a stable apartment. We're able to kind of get back on their feet. And so these are one of the many stories of people that get to engage with the Salvation Army. And then we get to also honor people that have gone out of their way to give of themselves, not just to the Salvation Army, but to the larger community. So we each year we give out a Henry Bosworth award named for the former editor of the Quincy Sun. He was just an ardent supporter of the Salvation Army. He started our community leader kettle, which if you ever see people down in Hancock Street, and as you have rang the bell there,
yes,
we get to see civic leaders and business leaders go downtown and ring the bell. And his son, Bob Bosworth, who's the current editor of the Sun, has been able to keep that going.
Yes.
And so through his legacy, through his commitment to the Salvation Army, he served on our advisory board for decades. We wanted to honor his memory and also honor that level of commitment to service to the community. And so our honoree this year is Christine Koch. She worked for the Salvation Army for a number of years,
At the
running
daycare center, right?
running the old Sunshine Preschool. And since she moved on, she has still been a great supporter, working with our advisory board, coordinating different bell ringers, finding different opportunities, helping us secure locations when we do our holiday distribution, when we give out hundreds of food boxes to seniors in the area, and just throughout the year. She's been a great support, and obviously is very active in her support of the community. So we were grateful that she was willing to accept that honor, and we look forward to being able to celebrate. I got to go through a lot of the old pictures that we have at the Salvation Army and see some of the kids who still interact with the Salvation Army, and as she has told me, she sees kids around graduating high school that she worked with in the preschool, just to see the investment that the youth programming can give, and then the investment that she continues to give. So we're glad to honor that, and we're looking forward. It's going to be a great morning.
That's very nice. And this is open to the public, right? This is something that folks can attend.
Yeah, it's a ticketed event, so it's $40 for a ticket, and there are still time for event sponsors.
Oh, okay.
So we have, through our sponsorships, if you ever see the signs outside of the stores that say the Salvation Army on them, many of them at the bottom have sponsors listed. So if there's corporate sponsors, we have people that give to certain amounts, and they are supporting the Salvation Army financially, and also partnering with us, that people can see that they've supported in that way. So that all goes for the breakfast, and it goes throughout the season. So this really kicks off, this is the reason it's a kickoff breakfast. It kicks off our fundraising effort and also allows us to raise some additional funds when maybe we couldn't do that as much ringing the bell these days.
Right, yeah. Do you have a goal for the breakfast, Adam?
So our goal for the breakfast is $60,000.
Okay.
Last year we raised $45,000, and so we're still a little short. We're still $20,000 short. We're 2/3 of the way there, but we got 2 weeks to go.
Okay.
So we're still definitely looking for sponsors, and we'd love to see more people come out to the breakfast. It's at the Terrell Room in Quincy, and the food's great. The people are great, and even though it's early in the morning, there's plenty of smiling people. And this is going to be our third time doing it, and the last 2 years have been fantastic.
Oh, very good. Do you remember who your past recipients were of the Bosworth Award?
Our first recipient was Bob Bosworth, as he has continually through the Sun, through his work with the community leader kettle, has taken on that mantle of service to the Salvation Army. So I was beyond pleased to be able to start that award with honoring his father's legacy and his continued service.
Makes sense.
And last year, we honored a company, one of the local companies, Clean Harbors. You probably see their trucks going around. Each year they have been extremely generous to us. They do a huge toy drive for our family toy distribution, and so we pull up a truck and all the employees load it up. And every year it has been one of the pillars of our ability to serve the community in that way.
Very nice.
So we had a table full of employees from Clean Harbors.
Nice.
And this year it's Christine Koch.
Very good. And again, it's Friday, November 14th, 7:30 in the morning. Program starts at 8. About how long does the whole program?
Well, we're usually done by 8:30.
Oh, okay.
Everyone's got to go to work,
Yes,
and so
that's
it's a
right.
good time to get breakfast,
Or not.
coffee, and then get on with your day.
Okay. Reach out to you, right, either through phone, email, or website?
Yeah. Our website is salvagearmyma.org/Quincy,
Right.
and that first card there is going to lead you to that website where you can buy tickets or purchase sponsorships,
Okay.
or you can always call or email, and I'll get back to you quickly to get you there.
Sure. And at the door, will they be available?
Yeah, there's some limited availability at the door, and so it's $40. Some people will show up and write a check or pay
more.
cash at the day, and then there's going to be a little miniature version of our red kettle at every table.
Oh, of course,
So if people
yeah.
want to donate more there, we definitely won't say no.
Sure, absolutely. And did the funds raised at the breakfast go specifically for the Red Kettle campaign?
Yeah, so
They
all
did,
of the
okay.
funds that we raise throughout the holidays go to support our year-round work.
Gotcha,
So we
okay.
do have our holiday assistance, we do have the food boxes, we do have the toy distribution, but these funds really help support our food pantry, our social services, our youth programming, all throughout the year.
Okay, very good. And then after that, it's full-on volunteers for bell ringing, right?
Yeah, it's full on ringing
Yeah,
the
it
bell.
starts the next day, right?
Yep,
Yeah.
and so that's a sound that if you go shopping in November and December, you know it.
Sure.
But it's a vital way for us to raise those funds. And so you'll see us out and about in the community.
Yep.
So if you see us, if you don't have cash, if you remember us when you're on your phone, or you can donate there. And if you do, change, cash, however, everything helps.
Sure.
And so if you see a kettle and you want to drop some money in there, please. If you have some time, some people don't always have money to give, but they have a little bit of time. We're always looking for bell ringers.
Okay.
So we largely our best bell ringers are our volunteer bell ringers, and so we need those people to go out, and even if they give a couple hours of their time,
Right.
it's cold, but it's always a good experience.
Yes.
I always have a positive experience when I'm out there ringing the bell or playing my instrument or doing whatever to raise money. You get to hear people's stories, how the Salvation Army impacted their lives, the things that they've been able to do.
Yeah.
And you never know who you're going to meet. So it's always a positive, fun experience. And the funds raised, they help local people. So all the money that we raise serves Quincy residents.
Sure. Do you know about how many locations right now that you have out?
So we raise money throughout the county, and we have about, when all things are going, it's about 15 to 20.
Okay.
And so it'll ramp up slowly. You'll see us out at the Walmarts first, then
Yes.
you see us at some grocery stores,
Yep.
and then as it's going. And so when we're out there for about 8 to 10 hours a day, that's a lot of hours to fill. So there's just about any time. If you think that we don't need help, just know that we do.
You do.
Yeah.
You'll find a spot for
Yeah,
it.
just
Yeah.
because you see someone out there then doesn't mean that someone's always out there.
Right.
We're out there all day, and so it's sometimes challenging to match up with people's schedules as people work and they get home late. But as people have availability, that's always been a huge help to us to collect money by ringing the bell.
Yeah, and I know you try as much as possible to make it as convenient for the volunteers as possible in terms
Certainly.
of locations.
Yes,
Yeah.
and so I always say volunteers, if you're coming to volunteer, I'm going to give you as good of a spot as I've got available at the day that works out best for you.
Right.
And then however we can sort it out. And then I'll be there with a smiling face, ready to get you ringing.
Right. So it kicks off November 15th, and how long does it run?
So we go, it goes Monday through Saturday from November 15th all the way to Christmas Eve without Thanksgiving. So we're
Okay.
not out there on Thanksgiving.
Okay.
We don't ring on Sundays, but all of those days, it's about 30 days in total. And so you'll see us there all the way up through December 24th.
Okay, all right. And the goal this year, Adam?
The goal this year is $120,000.
$120,000, okay.
We raised $114 last year, and so we're raising that goal to see if we can continue to support the work of the Salvation Army.
Sure, yeah. And who can be a bell ringer? Can it be students as well?
Yeah, we definitely have high school students.
We do, okay.
There's a lot of high school students that need to get volunteer
Yeah, community
hours
service,
for
right, yeah.
whether it's school involvement or honor societies. And so we've had a number of high school students come and ring the bell.
Okay.
If they're 14 or older, they can usually ring the bell by themselves.
Okay.
But my kids go out every year, and they're much younger, so they just need an adult with them.
Okay, all right, very good. And is there like a training process, or?
Well, I'll usually reach out and I'll just kind of tell you how it goes. We have a couple of do's and don'ts.
Yes.
But I often tell people it is what it looks like.
Okay.
You're ringing the bell, you're smiling at everybody, and you're saying thank you.
Yep.
Have a nice day. Happy Thanksgiving. Happy holidays. Just being nice and ringing the bell. If you keep ringing, you're doing good.
There's no mystery to it, right?
No, it is. Like I said, it is what it looks like.
It's very much grassroots, yeah, for sure. We should talk a little bit about the Salvation Army also has a very active food pantry.
Yes.
And I'm sure you're seeing an increased need given the current federal government shutdown, and the SNAP benefits are on pause now, so folks are anxious about that, I'm sure.
Yeah, we've been preparing alongside of the other food pantries in the city to receive more people.
Right.
Some people are anxious about utilizing a food pantry for the first time, and we often tell everybody, everyone has different needs and different avenues on how they meet those needs. And the food pantry is just another tool to get people to self-sufficiency. And so we're open Mondays through Fridays. We're open in the morning from 9 to 11:30.
Okay.
If you're a Quincy resident, you just need to come, and they'll get you all signed up and tell you what else you will need for the next time. But we want to make sure that we're there. The Greater Boston Food Bank has increased how much food that they've been able to give us, and so we're doing our best to make sure that we have enough for everyone.
Right.
And so if you have a need, our goal is to get you with some basic staples so that the rest, you can afford the rest. You know, whether it's rice or pasta or we're able to give out some produce, which we're very glad about.
Okay.
And so we want to make sure that people don't feel any sort of way about coming to the food pantry, and knowing that we're there.
Are you seeing an increased need? Have you seen it
We've
manifest
seen
itself yet?
We've certainly seen an increased need over time in Quincy over the last. This is my 5th year here, and we've increased year over year for need. And since it's the beginning of the month now, so we're just bracing for what may be. There's people that have called additionally about how to utilize the food pantry, but we've tried to be pretty proactive alongside of the city and the other food pantries on telling people how they can get these benefits.
Yes, okay.
So
the real issue I know is getting the food from Boston to Quincy, right?
Yes.
Believe it or not. Yeah.
So the benefit of food pantries, and when I talk to people about donating money, is that food pantries often have access through food banks like the Greater Boston Food Bank at getting food extremely cheap.
Yes.
And oftentimes it costs us little to nothing to get food from the food bank. The only cost is getting it from the food bank to
transportation
us.
costs,
And so it costs a few $100s to get the truck and the driver to get the food to us. So we get a few deliveries each month. And so when you see something that says $5 can get you a bag of groceries, it's often because the food pantries have access to those services. However, there's the cost of getting it there and keeping that food pantry open.
Yes.
So we often encourage people, and I have been encouraging people personally to, if you don't have staples that you can give and you have the impulse to go to the store and buy something, maybe whatever you were going to spend at the store may be of better use, giving a financial contribution to that local food pantry, because
they can stretch it a lot further.
that dollar just goes further.
Right. Yeah.
And some people worry about exactly where their dollar goes.
Yes.
And these days and these times, I can assure you that with all the food pantries that we work with in the city, they're actively trying to make sure that they have enough food and enough resources to meet the need.
Yeah, I'm sure you're concerned about the holidays coming up, meeting that need as well, Thanksgiving, Christmas.
Yeah, we're even doing our current sign-ups. And year over year, we've had more families, and we've seen upwards of 700 families come and get food boxes. And if I did the numbers off the top of my head, I could probably say it's 2,000 or 3,000 households in Quincy are likely to use a food pantry. If not ours, then you have Interfaith or St. John's or QCAP that there's that people are in need one way or another to just get them across the finish line.
Right. Yeah. Well, that's what the SNAP program was. It's not meant to completely subsidize their grocery bill. It's a supplement.
Yeah.
And the figures from the state released last week, over 16,000 households in Quincy receive monthly SNAP benefits.
Yeah.
Households. So that can be more than 16,000 people. So,
oh yes, certainly, certainly. A lot of young families.
Yes.
As you know, that that people are along their career trajectory. When they have young kids, they may have lesser paying jobs, and things are expensive, especially with childcare costs and the like. So some people will utilize a food pantry for a time.
Great. Do you need other volunteer opportunities in the food pantry, Adam? That folks
Yeah,
can
so
help?
if you want to volunteer for the food pantry, you just give us a call at the office and we'll get you signed up. We background check all of our volunteers that are in the building. And so there's volunteer opportunities for whether it's unloading the truck, when the food comes in, packing the bags, interfacing with the clients, getting the food. We have a lot of senior citizens that come through, so if they drive, sometimes they need additional assistance getting the food into their car.
Yeah.
There's plenty of ways that you can serve.
Okay, great. And again, the Kettle Kickoff Breakfast is Friday, November 14th at the Terrell Room. And right after that, it's the Kettle Campaign.
We're off and ringing.
Thanks for stopping by, Adam. Great to see you.
Thank you for having me.
You're very welcome. Check the forecast for you for the rest of the day today. We've got some rain moving in later on this afternoon, and the shower variety, no downpours, but temperatures today will stay right about where they are into the mid-50s. Things should clear out tonight, believe it or not, later as the rain comes to an end. We'll get down to the mid-40s. Sunshine returns tomorrow, but along with it, the wind. It'll be a wind chill. Highs tomorrow into the mid-50s. A little more damp weather moves in for Wednesday, and then nice again on Thursday. Very November-ish forecast. Thanks again to Captain Adam Boynton for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Thanks to our crew. Thank you for watching. Friday here on the show, Quincy Veteran Services Director Christine Cugini stops by with information about the Sears Veterans Day Parade in Quincy. Meantime, check our website anytime. That's QATV.org. You'll find all of our latest programs there, along with news and information, video on demand, live streaming, and much more. For all of us here at QATV, I'm Joe Catalano. Have a great week.